It is time once again for old school RuneScape, but this time it's with the Limited Time League. This league is named the Trailblazer Reloaded League, as it's a rerun of a previous league that we've had. A quick explanation of a league is that they are their own special worlds where everyone is an Iron Man and there's no trading whatsoever. During this event, you try and complete tasks for reward that you get at the end of the league. These tasks range from as easy as to catch a fish or to kill a goblin, to as extreme as completing the hardest raid on a brand new harder difficulty multiple times. But these tasks come with some exciting buffs and opportunities in the form of relics. During the league, not only is the base XP multiplied by 5 times, but that multiplier also increases as you complete more tasks. You also get relics to help you complete these tasks even faster by giving you outrageous passive buffs in combat, skilling, and just general utility. There is a catch though. There are 8 tiers of relics with a few to pick from in each tier, and each relic has extremely powerful effects. But in each tier, you can only select a single relic and you can never switch once you have selected them, so picking carefully is key. Each league has done this a little differently, but this time with the Trailblazer Reloaded League, you are locked to only a small portion of the game. At the start, you are locked to Misthalin, which is the main free-to-play area that we all fondly remember, as well as Karamja, which is the nearby tropical jungle island. As you complete tasks, not only do you unlock more relics to help you with your journey, but you also unlock additional areas to explore, each with their own set of tasks to claim even more points and all of the gear and items that come with those zones. There is another catch though. There are only 8 additional zones, and you only get to pick 3 of them. So just like the relics, once you have selected one, your choice is permanent and you cannot switch at a later time. Now, here's where our story begins. The final tier relics are all extremely powerful combat relics, but one in particular caught my eye, the Guardian relic. When you pick this relic, you receive a horn that allows you to call a powerful ally to your side to help you complete content. Now, as someone who has not done a lot of the in-game content, this sounds perfect to have a helper. So, join me while I try to complete the Trailblazer League and my quest for girlfriend. So to back up just a tiny bit from the intro you were just watching, for my first relic, I actually took Production Prodigy, and it is awesome because it gives you a plus 12 boost in your production skills, and you process everything in your inventory instantly. You also have a chance to get some extra stuff whenever you're making it. You also get some passive effects for the league, so you never run out of run energy, you get twice as common drops, and you also drop some clues in clue boxes, meaning you can hold multiple. And then that last one that says that clues will only give them in your region, that one's actually a little bit broken and they're still trying to fix it. Now, one of the other things that I was trying to do was there are different rankings for the league, and I want to try and get to at least Rune or Adamant rank to give myself a pretty high goal to work towards before the league ends. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Stronghold of Security, which is the account security checkpoint, or kind of like an informational dungeon. And at the very bottom, there is 10,000 GP that we're going to go ahead and grab. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is because in order to unlock the first zone, you have to complete 60 tasks of any level. And we're just going to try and do 60 as fast as possible. Now, I found a wonderful guide on YouTube by Double Shine. You should definitely check out their YouTube videos. But I'm going to follow their guide really quickly. And they managed to complete 60 tasks in about 45 minutes. So we're going to try and just clean this out as fast as possible. Ooh. Got really close to dying, but we're doing just fine. We're at the very end. So, we are going to get our 10,000. We also get all of the emotes, and that is a achievement diary step. And we have all of our money, and then we get these boots. So I'm going to pick those because I like them. Put those, that's a task. And now we're going to teleport to Karamja. So tasks are the name of the game in leagues. So for every task that you finish, there are different rankings that give you different amount of points. And so the idea is that I was trying to get as many points as possible, but in addition, in order to unlock your first zone, you also have to complete 60 different tasks of any tier. Now, the reason that I was trying to rush this is because the first two areas that you start out with have great tasks, but unlocking an additional zone just gives you even more easy to complete tasks to earn you even more points faster. And the more points you get, the closer you get to getting more relics, and then the more relics you have, the more passive buffs you have, and so you just have this cycle of constantly seeking out tasks for more points, to get more relics, to then use those relics to get more tasks and more points to get even stronger relics. And at about the 30-minute mark, we had already completed 30 tasks. And so it started to slow down a little bit as I did agility on the Draenor course, because there's a few tasks, one to get a Mark of Grace, one to complete a lap on a rooftop course, one to complete 10 laps on this course, and then another one to obtain your first level 20 that you would probably get by the time you did your 10 laps. With all of that stuff that we collected earlier, we finally turned it in to complete the Cook's Assistant. And we're going to use his range, because that's another task. So with the fill a crate with bananas task, that was our 60th task to unlock a new area. And we also unlocked a new relic along the way with all of the points that we earned with our first 60 tasks that only took us maybe about an hour to complete it. So with our relics, the first relic that we're going to pick between Fairy's Flight and Globetrotter is going to be Fairy's Flight. So with this one, you get a little mushroom. I gotta go do it as a bank. Something that I love about the leagues is these silly little interactions. So I tried to get into the Champions Guild. It told me I need to have at least 32 quest points, yet I already have Dragon Slayer 1 finished. Oh well. So with our first relic, what we're going to pick is the Fairy's Flight relic. And what this does is it allows you to teleport to any fairy ring, spirit tree, or to a leprechaun in the game. I'm picking this over the Globetrotter relic because with the Globetrotter, it allows you to teleport using any of the jewelry, but I can just make that jewelry as I level up. So this is a chance to get something that's not in the game. And then, of course, we unlocked our first area. And so what we're going to pick first out of all of these areas is actually going to be the desert. And the reason why I'm going to pick that is because it actually immediately unlocks a lot of early game potential and then actually comes back up at the late game with the raids and a bunch of other high tier skilling methods. So it will always be useful. So I just unlocked a bunch of points for unlocking that and auto-completing a bunch of quests. And now I'm actually at 88 quest points, so we can return back to the Champions Guild. And what we're going to do is head over to the desert, and we're going to get a bunch of free money. So what I meant by earning a bunch of free money is there is actually the gem trader here in Al-Kharid, and the way that this works is he sells an uncut emerald for 50 coins. But if you cut it and sell it back to him, he will actually purchase it for 350 coins. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy a bunch of these, cut them, and sell them back to him. But the problem is that I remembered I have not done any crafting at all. So we might wait on this for just a moment, but it's going to stack very well with our production specialist relic, because actually when we're cutting the gems, we will cut the entire inventory in one go. Get a free 25 levels in Slayer and Hunter from doing the natural history quiz, and get some bonus points for it as well for a task. The nice thing about Production Prodigy is that you start out super high and you get a head start on whatever you're doing. So we made the bronze bars, and that got us from 1 to 9. Then I made a full helm and a plate skirt, and we got to level 10 smithing, but it actually got us to 22. So we can skip basically straight to iron after only making 2 things. Now, this is why I love Production Prodigy. I made all of the balls of wool for the sheep shearer quest, but then I made another 3. And so I get to keep these extra 3, which means I now have them for amulets or something else later in the game. After completing Sheep Shearer and getting some bonus crafting levels, we returned to the gem trader in Al-Kharid and cut some sapphires that I remembered he had to get some early game money. And then we got to the emerald level and started cutting those and got our first 30, 40, 50, and 60, as well as 100k gold just to work with. Once we finished the emeralds, we went to Draenor to make some rope and insult a witch to get some more points. Teleported back to Lumbridge to work on our first Slayer task and some ranged on goblins. Then we earned some more points around Al-Kharid by doing agility, going through the gate, grabbing some cabbages, and then doing our first farming patch. And just like that, with paying to protect our barley, which is our first crop ever, we have already unlocked our tier 3 relic. So we have the choice between Fire Sail and Banker's Note, and I know the hype between Fire Sail is ecstatic right now. Everybody believes that this one is overpowered, and it definitely is. Although I believe that the front-loaded nature of it, I believe that Banker's Note, for my playstyle and how bad I am at bossing, I believe that Banker's Note is going to be the way to go. Also, it gives us a few passives. It gives us a Crystal of Memories, which lets us teleport back to wherever we came from. Let's see. It also gives us... that's it for this one, but we're gonna get the Banker's Note and the Crystal of Memories. And there we go. So we're at Production Prodigy, Fairy's Flight, and Banker's Note, and we just prepared to set up our first set of birdhouses. So let's go ahead and get started on that as well. And of course, I always forget this, but the first time you set them up, you need your steel clockwork, which means I need to get my construction up in order to make the clockwork, and then I need to make steel bars to make the clockwork out of, so let's go ahead and do that first. Now, a very easy way to get some early construction XP is to actually complete the Daddy's Home mini quest. Now, whenever you finish it, it kind of is like a tutorial about construction, and it has a great cutscene. But once you finish, it gives you a crate of supplies and some early levels. And in those supplies, it actually had 5 steel bars and a bunch of oak planks for me to grind on. Now, I also got to use the power of the banker's note to make a whole bunch of molten glass very quickly, because you need molten glass to make the table to make the clockwork. So once we grind it up, we got our birdhouses done with our clockwork and got those set up. And then I realized that that iron was open and I could do some of that, but I needed a steel pickaxe. And after only about 150 pickpockets on some of the worst content ever, I finally got a steel pickaxe to use at the iron that is on the fossil island, and just got a whole bunch of that and then used it to make iron bars and steel for the future. And with that, I think I'm going to call it a video. We got to 500 total level. Completed a whole bunch of tasks. So we have 36 to the next area, 500 points to the next relic. We have exactly 1,500 points. That's pretty cool. We've unlocked the desert. We're on our tier 3 relic, about to get to tier 4, to which we're going to be picking the Archer's Embrace, which I will explain in the next episode. And we're just going to keep earning points and grinding away. Trailblazer League is so much fun. If you haven't tried it yet, please, you should definitely try it. It's fantastic. So if you like the video, sub, like, leave a comment. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next Trailblazer video. See you later.